Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here with my co-host, Mel B, to talk to the next victim of the Traitors Canada Season 2. We have Gail Kim. Gail, I'm so sad to see you here, but I'm happy to talk to you. How are you doing?
I'm great. Listen, I'm happy at how far I made it into the show. And honestly, after seeing that challenge last night, I kind of feel like I left on the perfect note. That's traitor, not being chased by some crazy madman in the woods. I'm happy. I'm quite happy.
Yay. Well, I mean, it's obviously bittersweet here. You kind of fulfilled all that you wanted to do, I suppose. But what made you want to be part of the show this season?
Actually, so I got approached to do the show, and I didn't have a great experience prior to that on Amazing Race Canada. I got booted like first. So then I was like, no more reality shows for me. But I am truly like that kind of personality that if opportunities fall in your way, I won't say no right away, but I heard them out and everything was kind of aligning in terms of, I believe in, fate, and I had been betrayed greatly in my personal life earlier this year. And so I was always known for my gut instincts in my personal life. So I really went on that show to test my gut instincts again because I'd been hurt greatly. And I actually went in wanting to be a faithful, which is kind of weird because most people want to go in being a traitor. Not going to lie, though, when I got onto the property in the manor and met Corrine for the first time, I'm like, I want to be a traitor. When you're just kind of put in that bubble, your mind kind of shifts and you start feeling a different way.
So I knew you. I watched you on The Amazing Race Canada. I still loved you. I know you didn't probably place how you wanted to, but I still enjoyed your time on the show.
Yeah.
But what was it like when you got there and you got to the manor? Did you recognize anybody? Was there anybody that you were surprised to see? What's your reality TV experience, etc.?
Yeah, I'm not a reality show watcher in general. So I didn't know anybody. And so I came in on a helicopter the first day with Netta and Mary Jo, and that was the first time I met them. So I found out after the fact that Netta was on Big Brother. And I thought to myself, I'm like, why didn't she mention that part to me? Of course already. And so that was a great experience. But also I felt like right off the show, I was thinking, oh, we have a target on our backs if everyone sees us land in the helicopter, and we kind of got, I guess, in a way, special treatment is the way it could be perceived as, right? So, I mean, we had no idea where we were going. They surprised us, and it was a nice, pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I'd love to be the helicopter
recipient
here. So you said that you don't really watch reality TV. Did you do any research? Did you watch any other iterations, any other seasons? Like, how did you prepare?
Yeah. So I had already heard about it. I just happened to be flipping something online and I saw the UK version. Didn't watch the whole season, but I remember being intrigued. I don't watch a lot of anything, to be honest. I just am working all the time, but I watched Australia. I couldn't get the Canada version here in America because I'm a Canadian citizen, but I live in Florida now. So I watched Australia, New Zealand, US. I watched a bunch of those shows and I loved it. I really loved it. And I swear I just had the best time, to be honest. It was the greatest experience. I told everyone when I came back from the show, my friends and family and people I worked with, I said, this sounds crazy, but this reality show changed my life. Like I went in and had such a deeply healing experience. It was crazy. I was shocked at how good I felt after I came out of the show.
Even after being a victim of the traitors, you still felt good about your experience.
It was That's awesome. I went in to check my gut instinct, and I realized after, halfway through the show, I said, why do I keep on blaming myself for not having the instincts, for seeing what the clues are, or, things that are right in front of my face? And I just had a epiphany, like I can't control what other people do. I can't control how they act. And I'm okay with who I am and how I present myself. And it was just a great, great experience. I loved it.
Well, there was a few times
that.
where you had your finger on the pulse with like Netta was somebody that you did say quite early on that you considered to be a traitor, but you kind of put that to the side, just being like, was it that you knew she was a traitor and you wanted to keep a traitor close, or did you just completely end up dismissing Netta and anybody else being a traitor?
Yeah, guys, I change my mind every day. Okay. And of course, watching the show, it's easy to say who the traitors are. And I will say, okay, we did take a long time for Michael John. Absolutely. Because we were just kind of like, maybe he is naive and like, maybe he just does, it's going over his head. So you kind of question that for a little while. But I'll say Netta and Kira were excellent traitors. Excellent traitors. And with Netta, I had suspicions. But I would say by the Aaron episode where we banished him.
I thought you were on Netta from the start. I had a hunch that you knew that she was a traitor. Like, was there ever a point that you thought, like, okay, look, say when you did, you were suspicious of her. Was there ever a point where you thought, okay, we're going to banish a traitor and I really want to be picked as like a replacement traitor? Like, is that something that you were trying to manifest at all?
I don't think that we were even thinking about recruitments at that point because we just kept on missing every night. We were getting so upset. I mean, it is heartbreaking because we really did click as a crew. Everyone really loved each other. And then during the day, you're doing these team building exercises and challenges. And then you go to this intense roundtable at night. And if we were wrong, it killed us. I mean, it really did hurt us and a lot of tears and stuff that we may not have seen. But no, I never thought about being recruited. I was just looking for that traitor.
Well, we see in the episode that you were somebody that they wanted to recruit early on. How would you have felt if you had received that letter? Like, would you have said yes? And would you have been like a dynamic trio?
If it was the girls, absolutely, 100%. I'm a girl's girl. So I think, and also the guys kind of was like the bros and the girls, and we all did get along, but my two closest in the house was Netta and Kira, to be honest. And I think that's why I made it so far. It is a social experiment thing. And if you did see me in the show, anytime I brought up Netta, I would shoo it away. I'd be like, oh, but I can't go there. You know, because I loved her so much. So it's hard to see through your feelings and how you perceive people for sure.
I actually thought the three of you guys in the helicopter were going to become like a powerful trio. I was like, oh my God, that's like built-in alliance, like right there. Were you guys considering working together? I mean, obviously you had the relationship with Netta and Mary Jo went out fairly early, but like, I would have loved to see the three of you guys like be a dynamic trio there.
We definitely connected. I feel like even though Netta played the timid, softer girl, I could feel the strength of her, and of course people did recognize her from Big Brother. I think Kirkland did. And Kirkland talked to me about it. And he said, oh yeah, she has a lot of personality on that show. And she's very, confrontational. And I said, oh, really? But when you're in the house and people are acting a certain way, and Netta came in with a plan, I don't know if you saw her post from last night after the show, the planning she did, the outfit, the bows and in her hair. And it was a running joke after the show ended that we're saying, oh, the bows in her hair, she made herself look so soft, and we got so tricked. But yeah, she did a really great job. Yeah.
I was definitely impressed by her manuals of like how to be a traitor and all these different scenarios, like definitely put in the work. So definitely, she made it far and she deserves it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't prepare like that in any way. I came in with a game plan of totally staying a little bit, quieter at the beginning. But once you're in there and people start talking to you, and your personality can't help but come out. And I'm a very direct person generally, so it was very hard. It was very hard not to have your true self come out.
It's wild, honestly. When you're in there, you can't really think straight. Like everything is just so quick. But one thing that I'm really wondering about, because you have kind of a unique situation in the manor where you were pretty well murdered. Your name was written down and then you got a second chance. Talk to us a little bit about like what you were feeling when you got the letter that said, you're going to be murdered or whatever. And then wound up in the birdcage. Like, what happened there, and what were you thinking?
My mouth dropped open. Like, what? I can still be here? Oh my God. And so being in that birdcage I had a great view of everyone and to see. And it was hard to say because now I watch the show back and I could see where people were like, oh, there wasn't much of, signs there. But from the cage, and obviously being in the manor is an intense bubble. So one little thing can feel huge and tunnel vision to you all day. And so what Aaron, the way that nobody looked at the keys at all. And if they did, it was just to go up to the keys and pick, Gail, which number key? Aaron was probably 10 feet away numerous times and just side-eyeing it like four times. I'm like, why does he care so much? What key is taken? And also, yes, Aaron and I got along really well. And so I don't know his personality within a week, right? So I don't know that he doesn't get excited about things. And he goes, I don't get excited about anything. And I said, oh, okay. Well, yeah, you definitely did not be happy that I was still there. So, the accumulation of all these little things is just like, okay. And I still couldn't believe it. Even after the show ended, I'm like, why was he doing that?
Just the way he is. Oh my God, how was it being in the birdcage in the rain? I felt so bad for you. I was like, oh my God, please, like give her a raincoat or something.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't know because it wasn't raining when I got out there at first. And then I didn't know when I was going to go in the cage. And they're like, yeah, you get in the cage. And I said, oh, right now? And so then it started pouring and there's nothing above it. There's no protection. And I said, oh my God, my lashes.
That's what I was thinking. Your poor lashes are going to get heavy and they're going to fall.
I was like, carrying my lashes. You understand? Oh, they came off as soon as I came out of that cage. It was hilarious. They're just hanging on by a little thread. It was funny.
So you're mentioning that you didn't want to be chased by the masked men in this particular mission. Were there any missions that you liked? Were you a fan of the mission? Like, you kind of come from an athletic background into your wrestling career. So I would think that you might like some of these physical activities.
Yeah, they were all fun. I would say the Trojan horse, though, was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And I'm a pretty physical person. That was tough. The bridge one was great. But the funnest one was the art one, where we got to dictate what we thought we remembered. Not that I did. I was painting. It was terrible. It gave us a lot of laughs, so we just want to have fun. It was great. I loved all the challenges.
I would like the challenges too, just because it's an opportunity, like you said, team building and bringing everybody together and coming for the common good of winning some or gaining some money. But sometimes we found that people were thinking that traders might sabotage these challenges. I'm just trying to understand why, because they want to win money.
Yeah.
The show, from what I understand, everyone's saying the mole. So in that first Trojan horse challenge, I think that's what kind of people were so confused. They're going, why are they giving the wrong answers? Why are they giving these obvious wrong answers? And then it became, just these little things where you're looking at things that you're not supposed to. Like I said, you're blowing things up that are so minuscule and you're trying to figure it out. And then if just one person says an idea like, oh, I think traders have a side pot. And we're like, well, why? We don't get it. We're trying to figure it out.
It would be in the rules. You would know that this is part of the game.
That's another thing I think a lot of us were saying. We said the rules are so kind of almost gray in a sense. You don't know how many traders there are. And so a lot of questions up in the air. And then you start informing your own answers.
You're like, let's make this make sense for my cause right now. Confirmation bias here.
Well, we made great TV is all I can say.
Like one of the best seasons. I've watched every single season of every English speaking season of Traitors. And this is probably my favorite season. Like it's so entertaining to watch. I mean, watching you guys be wrong and be so mad about it. And, the traders in the background, just loving life, laughing, but then also fighting. Like it's been a really great season.
I mean, it's been pretty exciting. And
like it's really,
I love the most though. Trana is no matter how wrong she is every time, she's just very confident in the next one.
Yeah.
Wrong, and I love her for it.
Like, if I could have her confidence for an hour, like just an hour. But like, so, I mean, Gail, speaking on that, like when you went into the show, you said that you're having a little bit of a rough time.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you left the manor? Like, is there anything that you learned about yourself that you were surprised to learn after leaving? Because I mean, I know it's a game show and everything, but like you said, it changed you a lot. What was something that you learned about yourself that this game brought out?
I feel like I have always been seen as a pretty confident, strong woman. And I didn't realize how broken down I guess I was mentally about myself before going in. And it's nice to meet 21 other strangers and be yourself and see how they perceive me and how much they believed in me and thought so highly of me. And like I said, at the same time of going through my own personal experience that I got broken down from, it's just like, I don't know. I felt all my friends who are the closest to me, they said, what happened to you on that show? I love Traitors. You came out like the woman I knew 15 years ago,
Wow.
the really close people to me. And they were just thrilled at me realizing all that, having all these realizations and coming out stronger for it. Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's amazing.
Like, therapeutic.
Who would have thought like the Traitors Canada is gonna like be life transforming like this?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So insane.
So would you ever do this show again if they invited you back for like an all-star season, or how would you want to play?
Yeah, and I definitely want to be a traitor. I would do either or, but of course you want to experience a different type of role. I know it's probably really difficult to be a traitor because I mean, I just can't even imagine how hard it is, right? To really just, you got to keep on telling yourself you're faithful the entire time, I would imagine, because it's a lot of weight to hold on your shoulders.
Well, especially with every single new season that happens, more information on how to play as a traitor comes up. And so like, you really have to invent your own way of being a traitor while also like, battling all the other traitors that have come before you. So what would you maybe be your strategy if you want to share? Like what kind of traitor would you be?
I would ask Netta.
Yeah, you'd ask her, can I borrow your manual?
Borrow your notes. Yeah, definitely. I would have to be another version of myself, which is the quieter version, because I'm pretty no filter. And I didn't even realize some of the things I said until I watched it, and how blunt I was. And I was like, oh, okay. I can see how people perceive me to be that way, right? Because, to Michael John, when he volunteered to be, the communicator. And I was like, no.
Well, we understood that for sure as to, why you might not have wanted him to be in that particular role. So what would you say maybe is your favorite moment that you could take away from your experience here on the Traitors?
Oh, the birdcage for sure.
I mean,
I never thought I would be. I've been in steel cages for wrestling. But I was like,
you weren't at home?
Yeah, I mean, it's a memory I'm going to take and coming back to life. And yeah, that was just even though I was soaking wet and freezing and shaking, it was one of the most memorable things I've ever done in my life. And I told them, I said, I've had a pretty exciting life, and that's a great memory.
That's
beautiful.
Amazing.
So we got some rapid fire questions that we usually ask at the end. So just answer with whomever pops up in your mind. So who would you say would be the most manipulative player?
Oh, Netta.
Yeah.
I mean, facts are facts.
Yes.
Most annoying?
Ooh. Michael John trying to get me all the time so aggressively. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
What did I do to you? I'm not a traitor. Who's the loudest?
Trana.
Funniest? Oh
boy. Oh, okay, Cedric.
Cedric's the funniest? Okay. Yeah. Which player would you most want to invite to dinner?
Oh my God, I like that. Oh, yeah, I girls' table.
Okay, all the girlies.
Oh yeah, I love the girls.
Who's the most opinionated?
Trana, for sure. Yeah.
Which player would you say would make the best spy?
Ooh, I would say, oh gosh, Netta would be a good one. Netta or Kira, they both did a really good job as traitors, honestly. I think Kira learned her mistakes from getting emotional, maybe, and attacking a little bit much, but Michael John a little bit hard. But I thought she still did a great job. No one had.
Fabulous.
If Netta didn't do that last night, I don't know.
Yeah.
And not including the traitors that we had this season, but who would you say would have been the worst traitor ever?
Nick.
Yeah.
He's too nice. I love Nick. He's too nice. Yeah.
And lastly, in hindsight, who would you say was the most trustworthy player?
Trustworthy. Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just knew. I mean, and Nick, they were pure faithfuls.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I thought I was too, but I've heard a couple of times my name here and there. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you. Do you have anything else that you'd like to ask, Mel?
I kind of want to know, if you had been chosen to be a traitor, who would be your ideal partners? Like other traitors.
I would want the girls. I honestly would have picked Netta and Kira probably, or Lauren. I like that. Yeah. I'm just attracted to very strong women. And like I said, I'm a girl's girl. So, but I loved all the guys too, but.
Yeah. I want to see that. I'd love to see that, like, go to the end, right? So
awesome. I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Oh, listen.
I'm so excited.
I was so mad when that episode was over today. I was
like make it a double, please.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Gail, for being here. Do you have any last words that you want to share about your experience or anything else you'd like to say?
I just want to say thank you to the Traitors Universe. I had the most amazing time. And if you ever get a chance to do the show, do it. It's so worth it.
Amazing. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Take care.
Gail.
Thanks. Talk to you